So we got some very interesting news here today, and what we're going to take a look at is AT&T, the owners of Warner Brothers, DC Comics and Crunchyroll. They are looking to get rid of Crunchyroll, and by the looks of things they want to sell it to Sony, and Sony owns the shitball FUNimation. That would literally give Sony the monopoly of anime basically in North America. And it's kind of sad that would happen. Obviously, here in the UK, we've actually had FUNimation take over manga, and we'll see if anything happens with that. Nothing has at this moment in time. Nothing drastic has happened. But obviously, with Sony owning FUNimation and the horrible stuff they've been pulling in the States, it's only a matter of time before they literally just try and take over the world. So we're going to have a little look by here. So we got, bounding in the comics, report AT&T looking to sell Crunchyroll for $1.5 billion. It's not worth that. 100% it's not worth 1.5 billion. That is just ridiculous. So, a new report details that AT&T is looking to sell Crunchyroll to Sony FUNimation for as much as $1.5 billion. The report comes from the information who cite three people familiar with the situation. The information is the same outlet that had previously reported that AT&T and Warner Media were having discussions about selling Crunchyroll back in May. The May report detailed AT&T's Warner Media has had discussions about selling Crunchyroll. One of the buyers the report detailed that had discussions with was Sony. The company had faced pressure to reduce a debt from shareholder Elliott Management, but they had reportedly cut a deal with them back in October. However, that report from May also indicated that plans to sell off Crunchyroll might have changed, with Warner Media's new CEO, Jason Kilar, taking over as well as the result of the ongoing pandemic. What's going on? Which again, to be honest with you, if that's the case, then I understand that. But when you're looking to sell it to Sony, who own FUNimation, and the amount of crap that they've put a lot of people through over the last year, it's not going to work. This new report also details that Sony is the prime target to purchase Crunchyroll, and again claims the reason behind this sale is to reduce debt. Could be, but we have seen him also get rid of a lot of people from DC. The information reports Warner Media's willingness to sell Crunchyroll, which has contributed content to the company's new streaming service HBO Max and been featured in its marketing, also shows AT&T's willingness to sell valuable assets to bring down its $151 billion debt load. That's a lot of debt. That's a hell of a lot of debt, especially for a company as valuable as Warner Brothers. But again, no, it seems to be that they're not exactly doing well. They have no Harry Potters, they haven't got a lot of stuff going on, and they're just not as prominent as they were in the 70s, 80s and 90s. Obviously, back then, they were pumping out action movie after action movie, and they were making big money. But again, in this day and age, people don't seem to want the old school action films. They just want to have people called safe space and doing their own little thing. They add, AT&T has been looking to sell non-core assets to reduce debt. Among the other businesses on the block are Warner's gaming unit. We did actually hear a lot of that in the rumblings over the last couple of weeks. They were looking at getting rid of the Mortal Kombat part, Rocksteady and all these, and they were looking to just offload them, and EA supposedly came in, and they were like, oh, we're interested. And if the Mortal Kombat franchise or the Batman franchise games, if they go to EA, that's the end of it. 100% that'll be the end of those games. YouTube's Clownfish TV host Neon would also state, that's the thing, it wasn't the original plan to sell Crunchyroll. As I understand it, as of last year, the talk of last year was to roll Crunchyroll into HBO Max, which a lot of us thought was going to happen. If you had HBO Max, a lot of the stuff on there was going to be from Crunchyroll. Warner Media is in such a place, it might actually benefit them to just sell it off so they can sell it instead of keeping it. This report comes out just as Crunchyroll announced a brand new exclusive in Jujutsu Kaisen that will arrive on this streaming platform in October. It also comes in the wake of AT&T gutting DC Comics and DC Universe. That's what we were talking about earlier in the video, where they've got rid of editors, they've got rid of freelancers who did a lot of work for them. And to be honest with you, I'm glad that's happened, because they were doing a lot of horrible things to people. You know, they were trying to cancel people who did covers for other people. And it's like, well, they don't use social media, so why would they be getting, on the go with people? Again, that's the culture that was in DC Comics. It also comes out after AT&T Senior Executive Vice President CFO John Stevens boasting about their software-based entertainment like HBO Max and AT&T TV. As the information notes, Crunchyroll is contributing content to HBO Max. So they got all this now going on. So there's a press release from AT&T. In addition, Stevens says that AT&T has continued to take advantage of low borrowing costs and rates to address upcoming debt. As a result, the company has reduced the amount of its debt maturing within the next 4 years by about $23 billion, an improvement of about $8 billion since the end of the second quarter. Just reading that people have got debt in the billions, that's just crazy. It's... When you think of people, oh yeah, they're in debt, a couple of thousand, couple of 100,000 at most for normal people, because obviously houses and all this. But then when you read 151 billion in debt, that's just mind-blowing, literally. That same press release also indicated that AT&T plans to evolve to have a focus on consumer demand. So they're going to follow the successful launch of HBO Max. They noted that the recent reorganization of Warner Media will accelerate the business's transitions. Well, I'm not too sure about that because, again, has HBO Max done a lot at the moment? Have they got enough people subscribed to it? Sadly, here in the UK, we haven't even got it. But I'm pretty sure if we did have it here, I'd subscribe to it because I do like Warner Brother films. And at least, like I said, 70s, 80s and 90s, if they got the action moves from those decades in there, I'd be well in. But, of course, you got the Batman films, you got the DC, extended universe, or whatever you want to call it, the cinematic universe. And obviously, next year, you got HBO Max's version of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, to be honest with you, I think next year, that is going to be a huge, and I mean a huge, contribution to a lot of people buying HBO Max, because they just want to see that. But going back to Crunchyroll, if Sony do buy them, it's just going to be the final nail in the coffin for anime in America, unless you buy direct from Japan, because FUNimation, they've ruined quite a lot of stuff. Again, you're going to have people defending FUNimation and Crunchyroll. Oh, well, this is going to be good for them. Get it all in one place. Yeah, but the thing is, though, they're not doing the stories that the original artists planned and intended. These people in FUNimation, they literally now change things so it suits them. And that just sucks. Because, again, people want what the original author and the original artist did, not what you think it could be. So, that's it. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see each and every one of you soon.